4. HTD is 1. HS24 is 6. HFT is 9. HS is 374. Foot 10 is 30. Surface condition is pillar size 3. And wind is calm.
She was on the road.
He's driving up, he's just behind us. Yeah.
Satellite image. Looks like it might be clearing.
Oh yeah. These guys don't know where we are.
So where we are is Revelstoke's right here, and this is a precipitation radar. So the darker the color, the heavier the precip. And usually it moves a little bit. So there we are. We are where the arrow and the cursor is. General pressure trend and temperature freezing level. And the top one is kind of a mixture of all the things.
Derek's group, when they get out there around probably 9ish, then they can get a pop up, and then the day skiers will do their whole program and do their
Sterling, yes, -1 right now. It was calm outside about 5 minutes ago when I was out there. And the ceiling's probably at about 2,600 meters or something like that. And we had about 4 centimeters overnight.
Any winds out there, Joe?
No. Oh, this one. Okay. Sorry. Oh, I guess I'm leaving.
Kljub dežju in priprave kar tečejo, je pa en kupenih takih nepotrebnih komplikacij, dvojnega, trojnega, petorenega preverjanja. Očitno so tako vajeni. Vreme pa takle. Nič kaj prijazen, nič kaj spodbuden.
Oh, okay. I think it's a certain weather.
Albert!
They all know how they have 20 million telecynetics in their lab. It's not that they get very much out of the
Okay, great. Flying in today. Number one thing, as we talked about yesterday in the safety orientation, you always have to ski behind me, right? It's really, really important to always stop above me. So I will never ski up to the helicopter with my skis on. I'm always going to stop about here, outside the spinning disc. Alright? So I stop here if the machine is shut down or if it's running. It doesn't matter. Okay? We stop here, we take our skis off, take our ski poles off, put our skis together. If you have a strap for your skis, that's great. You can just strap them together like this. If you don't, that's okay too. And then I approach the helicopter and you should follow. Really good point, right? This doesn't work heli skiing. Does that make sense? So what we do is we always endeavor just to drag our skis. So obviously it's all snow out there. You just put your hands on the bow and drag your skis towards the helicopter. Okay, imagine there's a lot of snow out there, so the helicopter's sitting actually substantially lower in the ground than it is on the concrete. Alright? So we approach the helicopter dragging our skis behind me, like so. I'll stand over here with the ski basket open. All you have to do is just pass me the tips of the skis like this. Okay? Very important, these two machine guns here, airspeed indicators, please don't break them. If you break them, we can't fly. They're also very, very hot, so if you touch your Gore-Tex suit, it's just going to melt right through. Alright, so usually what we say is leave a meter and a half away from the front of the helicopter, walk around the front. Alright. If you are the first person around the front of the helicopter, you're going to need to open the door. Alright, here's how the door works. Handle pulls down, door still won't open. Okay, door is still latched. You pull this handle a little bit more, and then slide the door back like so. Alright? Typically the door is quite stiff, so if you're opening the door, walk the door back slowly all the way to the end. It's not a Chevrolet van, so everything happens really, really gently. Alright? It's a very expensive helicopter, so Once the door is open, we're ready to climb into the helicopter. The best way to do that, remember sometimes the snow is quite deep, so the helicopter is actually a little bit higher. Number one thing not to do, please do not grab onto this door. Very fragile door. If you pull on this door, it just causes us a lot of problems. So this is off limits. No touching. Alright? What I like to do is grab onto the bottom of the seat. There's a big steel bar there or here. And get up into the helicopter like so. There's no need to kick, okay? But we really care if you kick the helicopter, okay? So no kicking the helicopter. Just leave the snow on your boots. If you want to get fancy, you can do this. Click your feet together. Climb inside. First along, the person that's sitting closest to here can close the door. I'm going to need a little hand here. Somebody can grab the door, please. Thanks, Emily. I'll go with myself. So, the door comes here, and the door gets closed. So, very important. The helicopter will land. I will be sitting in the front. I will climb out of the helicopter. Sometimes I might change my mind. I might not want to go skiing where we landed. So I'm going to climb back in. Leave your seatbelt on, always. Alright? The seatbelt stays on all the time. I hear in my headset in the front as we're a meter or two above the ground. Click, 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 seatbelt's coming off. It's the worst time to have the seatbelt off in a helicopter. So leave the seatbelt on. I climb out. If I feel good about where we're going to ski, I open this door. And that's the cue to undo your seatbelt. Okay? And then climb out. When you climb out of the helicopter, it's pretty easy, like this, and then walk forward. And you want to be about 1.5 meters, 2 meters away from the helicopter, no further. Alright, and in view of the pilot. And then just what we do is we take a crouched position like this, always watching the helicopter. Everybody else climbs out, then does the same thing once again, nice and gentle. Doors closed, click the handle up, double check that it's locked. Come forward to where everybody else is and give Chris the pilot a thumbs up. Meanwhile, while all this is happening, I'm on the other side of the helicopter unloading skis and doing all that sort of stuff. When I'm ready, I also give the pilot the thumbs up and then he flies away. Alright, so the helicopter always leaves from us, we never leave from the helicopter while it's running. Does that make sense? We'll be huddled, which means I will be with the skis and you will be huddled in this position here. And the helicopter will land between us. It's very important at both times, if the helicopter is landing between us or if the helicopter is leaving us, that we always have our gloves and our hats and everything secured. If something is going to blow away, just let it blow away. Don't go chasing after it. Okay? Very important. Sometimes we land right on the mountaintops, and if you go running away from the helicopter, you're going to go somewhere where you're heli hiking. Okay? Not heli skiing. So please stay close to the machine. Please hang on to all your articles. Another reason the helicopter tips over on its side, or for some reason you cannot exit the helicopter because the door is stuck, these windows will push out just with your hands. About 35 pounds of pressure, you can push the whole window out. This window, side window, and the same goes for the window on the other side, on the passenger side. So you can always push the window out. Make sure that when you're sitting in the helicopter, we'll bump it around, that you're not leaning with your shoulder on this window because it doesn't take a lot of force to pop the whole thing out. Okay? So that's what you could do if you needed to get out. If you are sitting in these two seats here, what we call the honeymoon suite seats, and you need to come forward in the cabin to get out of the helicopter, you just pull up on this red tab, this seat folds down, and you can come forward. Any questions? The helicopter is equipped with a fire extinguisher that exists beside the pilot, behind the seat. Please do not deploy the fire extinguisher while we're flying. Sounds simple, but definitely a no-no. And there's also an emergency locator transmitter, which is attached right beside the pilot's head. And now I'm just going to talk really quickly about the rescue equipment that we carry when we're flying around out there. Alright? With a medium-sized cylinder of oxygen and a bunch of stuff to go along with that, bag, valve, mask, and that sort of stuff. There is also, if you look in here, a rescue throw bag. This contains crevasse rescue equipment only. So if we have a crevasse fall, the idea out there, the helicopter can fly by close to the glacier, the pilot can reach this from where he's sitting, open his door, and drop this kit down. Very basic, minimal equipment to stabilize somebody in a crevasse, if somebody was to fall in a crevasse. Okay? So, this is our main rescue bag. We have blankets, extra clothes, all sorts of first aid equipment, collars, Anything that you could deal with, any major trauma, big bleeds, any of that sort of stuff is contained in here. Pretty useful. Alright? Nothing really avalanche specific, however. The avalanche specific stuff is in the other side of the helicopter. I'll show you guys that in a second. So our regulations pretty much state that in order for the pilot to come into a landing with guests on board, we have to have a couple of these flags at an established landing for a variety of reasons. And this gives the pilot enough reference so he can land the helicopter safely, even in poor weather conditions. Alright, so we have a basket full of skis. All the skis obviously go in here. In the tail we have 4 shovels, spare shovels, and a bag of 4 probes in case we have an avalanche up there. Okay? Obviously for heli skiing, you guys, it's pretty essential that we're light as we can be, because it's really quite limiting for a variety of reasons to be very, very heavy with a lot of people and a lot of gear. So we've removed things such as the toboggan, and we've really tried to lighten the helicopter up as much as we can to give us the best chance of getting places that we want to get to with the helicopter.